This video is sponsored by the Malachian Empire, which is a faith-based, non-federal tribal organization, which is dedicated to legacy, autonomy, and holistic wellness. For more information, please visit www.malachianempire.world. Hello, family. Welcome to Your Skin, Your Story, where we celebrate the journeys that shape us and explore how inner care reflects outwardly. Today, we are honored to share the lovely story of Miss Brenda with Now and Zen Bodyworks.
Yes.
Thanks for coming.
No, I'm grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. How has today been going for you thus far?
You know what? It's beautiful outside, so I got to sit in my kind of patio that I created in my garden, and was able to do that before my neighbor came talking on her phone and kind of, you would just interrupt the piece just a little bit, a little bit. So I was like, all right, let me just get on my journey and come here. So I'm grateful to be here. So,
yes. Thanks for, fitness in your schedule.
Yeah, no problem at all.
But we're going to dive right on in.
Let's do it.
To the interview. So, can you recall a moment when something showed up on your skin before your brain could even process what was happening?
Oh gosh, yeah. It was probably about 8 years ago. Okay. I started to realize how much food, medication, things were really disturbing my body's economy. You know what I mean? The organisms in it. And I got off birth control. I started to learn how to detox. I started to learn more about herbs. And when you realize that you detoxing, things start to go, It took years for my body to recalibrate. Yeah. It took years for my body to realize that antibiotics is not it. That me going to different
oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
It's okay. It took me a while to realize
I am sorry. Excuse me. It's the little essential oils I got on are powerful. So it got in my nose. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm done.
It took me a while to realize that antibiotics was not for me. Yes. That things topical just was not made for my skin. That the steps they say to do it this way just wasn't working for me. Right. Everything that I was using was a form of poison to me. And that's when I realized that, this ain't it. This is not it. I cannot continue to follow these steps. I've trusted this for about 8 months, and it took years for my skin, for my body to recalibrate to something that I can say, like, I feel energetic. I feel better. My skin feels smoother. Yeah. My hyperpigmentation is finally, subsiding. Yes. That's different things like that. That's from makeup, from lotions, from different skincare products that just wasn't for me.
It's when you think about it, though, even with the skin, women specifically, we put so much on our skin, and people don't know that we absorb it in our bloodstream.
This is true.
And over time, like you said, it can be something like a little bit of time, but that little bit of time, it takes a maximum amount of time for it to really come out of you, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is. You already know our skin is an organ.
The largest one.
Yeah. And so when we absorb stuff in there, that partakes to sunscreen. You know what I mean? That partakes to our body wash. Yes. That partakes to, even when we are in our menstrual, the things that we're using, in that area, it affects us in every way.
All of it. It's inner and out. What we eat and what we put on it.
Facts. Yeah.
So, moving on, what do you wish someone had told you? Not just about skin, but about self-worth and body connection when you were younger.
That you don't have to compete with everybody else. Yeah. That who you are from the inside, really defines your path, your journey. Yes. Trying to keep up with this shape, this vixen, you know what I mean?
This look that they say looks the best.
Hair not being natural is ugly, you know? Yeah. Just anything like that was self-care, self-worth that I had to build and confidence within myself. Yeah. And nobody can really technically teach you that. Yeah. they can fill you up, but it's really about what your brain is telling you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's what I definitely teach my younger, because, you know, back then, I'm a 90s baby, so it was complexion. Yeah. I didn't even want to get in the sun. But now I just be, you know, I just be all in it, but I didn't even want to get in the sun. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get too dark. I don't want to be too dark. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just a mental thing, but like you said, it's just really embracing you and your path. I tell my 8-year-old, she already is aware she has a journey, you know, and I say, you be your best self. Yeah, for sure. And you look different from everybody else, and that's completely fine. Yeah. As long as you love you, you're okay.
You're right about that. Well, you know, going back to TV magazines, light skin was the type of models that was portrayed. Slim, you know, this skin, hair this way. Yep. And that was in every TV show that we grew up in. That, you know, darkness, dark melanated skin, beautiful melanated bronze skin was not appreciated.
It's crazy.
And every tone of melanation is just such a beauty in their own complexion, you know, and regardless of who your parents are, what skin tone you come out of, you're still beautiful.
We all have it. We all, mind you, melanin costs more than gold now.
It does.
Okay?
It does.
It costs more than gold. And it comes in, like you said, a whole lot of different tones. Some people just have way more melanin than others, but we all have it. Yeah. We all have it.
Yes.
So, yes, the younger stuff. If the younger people are watching, just love on you. Okay, so when did skincare stop being something you did to your face and start becoming something you felt through your body?
Yeah, it was probably maybe about, I went to Barbados and I was in a search of different herbs. Okay. And I was in a search of not wanting to wear makeup, because at that time it was MAC and pound this layer on and pound this later and put this on and then you know, contour this and contour that, and I'm on an island wearing this makeup.
It's hot as hell.
Girl, lashes flying on the boat. I mean, it's just like flutter. Does anybody see this? Like, that's too much. You know what I mean? That is too much. And I started to realize, like, there's absolutely no way that I feel confident right now in my skin to take this off. I got so freaking tan. The color, the shade that I came with. The shade I came with.
Now you gotta say the shade you came with.
By the time day 3 hit, my makeup was so, it made me like a ghost.
No. In pictures. Because you were going based off of your, in the States color, not when you in another island.
That part. That's when I had to realize that I needed to figure out what's going on in the inside. How do I detox my liver? I was drinking heavily for years. Yeah. You know, that plays a big part in your gallbladder and your liver. Yes. I had to realize, like, okay, it's not just always the colon. You know what I mean? You have to go through the spleen, your blood, your different systems, your lymphatic system. And I started to learn what that looked like. And that's what really started to change my perspective of my skin.
You serenaded me now. People know. People will tell, my user family will tell you how I'm like, I may sound weird, but I've fallen so deeply in love with my body, the inner workings. Yes. The fact that I can do nothing and my organs is working to help me perform at my best self. So what can I do to help y'all? Right. You know? Right. So like you said, your liver, your spleen, and certain little people don't even know about it. We be at this big grown age. Yes. Big grown age.
Yes. And hormones out of whack.
Don't even know what hormones are. Yes. I literally just got out of the car because my daughter's like, Mommy, what is hormones? So I had to break it down. So hormones are tiny messengers, baby. Yeah. They communicate what your body is about to go through and when it needs to do it. Yes. And it's going through the blood, traveling through the blood. So it's like, I don't know, that little tidbit she can take on her journey to know, okay, this is a part of me. You know, so it's like we are all universes, but knowing you is good. Not to say that wearing makeup is, because I like it sometimes to just enhance.
Yes, for sure.
But like you said, if it comes to the point where I don't have anything, I shouldn't trip.
Right.
I should not feel like I'm about to have a meltdown because I don't have it. Like, girl, I'm still fine.
Yes.
Hair all over the place, you know, and having a time, you know. But like you said, it's loving the skin that you're in, no matter what, makeup or not. So, okay. Okay, now, when you look in the mirror today, do you see your skin or do you see your story?
Oh, man. Do I see my skin or do I see my story? Gosh, you know what? I think I see my story. I'm going to be honest. You know, I think people realize like their wrinkles will be their stories, or their smile line will be their stories and define their age, you know? But I really I feel so young. Yeah. You know, I feel so vibrant. I feel so clear.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel so free.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, I do my skin routine. I use my natural products. And it's not many steps at this point, you know, and I go from there, you know, and then I decide if I do want to choose to wear a little bit of makeup at that time, a little bit of enhancement. I'm not layering it like I used to. You know, just a little bit of enhancement, a little bit of rise, a little bit of this, a little bit of, you know,
just a little sprinkle. You know, that's all we need.
You know, so it's a different journey for sure. You know, 10 years ago, I would have said skin for sure.
Yeah, because that's we are we're being vain. Yeah. We've been taught to be vain, and I get it. Yeah. Like you said, systematically, it's set up that way.
Yeah, brainwash.
Of course, if you had too many people around here walking around loving themselves, I don't know. It's been a world that's healed.
Yes, yes.
But thankfully, you know, people are wiping the mud out of their eyes and getting to the point like, you know what, I am beautiful. Period. Yes. So now, as a massage therapist. How do you witness the skin respond differently when it's touched with intention versus touched in passing?
Yeah, you know, I do everything with intention, so I love that you use that word. I intentionally use coconut oil when I massage. Okay. And I do that on every skin types because a lot of people are dehydrated. A lot of people aren't drinking enough water. That shows up in the skin automatically. Oh, yeah. How much I have to use in this area to this area to this area, regardless if you have hair on your arms, legs, back, whatever. Yeah. It's really the skin absorbing it. How long it takes for me to release the muscle in that area. You know what I mean? It takes a while. And when I know that people are staying hydrated, it's a flow like, oh man, that didn't take long. Found it. Okay, release. Okay. Found it. Okay, release. Yeah. You know, it becomes that. But if I'm sitting there for about 5 to 7 minutes, you know, and trying to work out the same area, that comes to a point of just like, okay, let's talk about this. Yeah. And a lot of people don't enjoy water. My last couple clients of this year that I've been dealing with their lymphatic system is they got cosmetic surgery. They're coming in with Diet Coke. No. Telling me that I can't drink Diet Coke. Telling me that, certain things. And at that point, I have to step back. Yeah. Because it's their life, their body, and their journey. Yeah. All I can do is be a messenger. Yeah. Excuse me. 2 to 3 liters of water. Yeah. Your body needs this. Yes. You have edema in your body right now. Yeah. You need to release this fluid and allow your lymphatic system to rebuild. Yes. Because when you get cut on, it disrupts the fascia, it disrupts the tissue, it disrupts the flow. And so in passing, do I look at people's skin as much? No, I don't. Yeah. I enjoy communicating with people. Yeah. So it's more of just that intentional, have a beautiful day. Or how are you doing today? Yeah. Oh, or how's your day been? Or have a beautiful week ahead, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like building that joy, because sometimes people just need somebody to just look at them, spend a little time with them. You never know what somebody's going through. Yes. So just being a blessing and passing is what I like to do. Yes, I do the same. Even like you said, just seeing, you can see like a woman, she just kind of like just sitting. I'm like, girl, you are so beautiful. You have good. That she just automatically just that big old bright curve. I'm like, just something so small, but like I love that you, even in work, it's not a
of course, you're compensated for your time. Sure. But the true meaning behind what you do is intentionally wanting to alleviate people from whatever tension. Because I feel like with our muscles and stuff, it's like stored up energy and emotion. True. Right? Yes. That's you're not letting go of. And then, like you said, even with little basic stuff, water. Yeah. How is it? You got a whole lymphatic, your lymphatic system. These lymph nodes, it stores up stuff now, it has to flush. How it's like washing the tub. You need the water and the soap to wash out the tub. You do. If you don't have no water and soap, it's just gonna be suds with dirt mixed together.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize that the lymphatic system is the system that transports waste out of our body. So it allows us to go, number one. Yep. Number two, alleviate wax out of the ears, mucus out of our mouth. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. It transports. So it scans all the body from, your organs, going back to the spleen, going back to the liver, going back to the gallbladder, your thoracic duct, allowing the body to say, all right, nobody needs this. Yeah. Let's release it. Yeah. And the lymphatic system can be blocked, That can be for being overworked. Yep. That can be from not exercising or movement. And it doesn't mean go out and run a 5K. No. That means just walk.
Literally.
Just walk.
Something small.
Vibrate, jump, use a jump rope, you know? And sometimes we get so stuck we forget, like, I can read a self-help book, and yes, that filled me up. But what about my physical body? Yes. What about my heart? What about my mind? It ties in so many different systems that we have to continue to pour into ourselves consistently. Yes. It's a I don't want to call it a battle, but it's a challenge of making sure that your inner and outer are both cared for. Yeah. You have the people like, oh, I'm getting old, my bill. No, you feel old because you haven't been moving. You literally if you think the cars, when we were smaller, we used to walk everywhere. Yeah, everywhere.
We walk everywhere.
Bus, train, walk.
Work. We was walking as teenagers. True. Then lifestyle change, you get a car. Yeah. Then you work in a 9 to 5 where you sitting down. So what? 12 hours out of your day? Really? I want to say maybe you get 3-4 hours maybe of movement. Yeah. Of course your body is going to break down in the next 10 years because you're not doing anything. So and I tell people it's little bits. Just do 5 minutes. I said do a wall workout or something. Just start small. Workout. Yeah. Something. And then before you know it, you'll start yearning to do more and more and more. Sure. But we got to do it like we brush our teeth now. Yeah. Every day, please brush your teeth. Exactly. Please. In time's great. Yeah.
That's really good too.
Yes, it's phenomenal. Okay. So in Know Your Skin Workbook, it's a book that I created. We talk about mapping emotion to skin zones, right? So which part of your body has held the loudest emotions and how have you learned to listen or respond?
I believe this area here. Yeah. Which emotion is that? Yeah.
I want to say this deals with the gut too. So it can be, what is that? Worry, stress, anxiety, you anxious about every and anything. Right. So.
Right. Running a business comes with so many hats, right?
Yes.
And if you come in for a service, we see you for an hour to say 2 hours, right? For a service. But there's so much that plays a part within that. Setting up the room. Yeah. Washing the sheets and the blanket. Cleaning, mixing the product. Ordering the product. Yeah. Did I forget this? Did I forget that? Which client I have next to make sure it's prepared for when they walk in because I have so much time. Sitting down and actually eating and enjoying your meal, not just eating in between clients. There's just making sure gas is in that car so we can get to work.
We ain't even talking about home. we ain't even got to her and don't have a child.
Right, girl, like all that stuff plays a huge part, right? And so it becomes stress, right? Yeah, we're talking on the phone, answering. Putting phone to ear. When I was always using our earbuds, whatever we had, right? Yeah. the pillows that we sleep on, you know? It's so many different things that plays a part to all we got to do is get to the next day and finish this day. That's all we think as an entrepreneur sometimes, right? If we know we have an event in 2 weeks, we start preparing prior for the night before or 3 days before.
Literally.
Yeah. It's so hard to balance sometimes. So we are going to get stressed out. You know what I mean? We are going to worry about this. We are going to forget this. We are going to have late nights until we actually work on closing our brain down to about 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It takes a lot for us to realize, like, don't harry that. Don't take what we had and what we used and what we had and what clients we had in the office and take it home. Yeah. One thing I like to use is that as soon as I lock up, as soon as I clean up, as soon as I get done with paperwork, when I'm locking the door, thank you so much, universe, for allowing me to assist these people. Okay. Everything that I've used, everything that I've learned, I leave this here in the space, and it is clear, and I do not carry it home with me.
I love that.
I had to consciously do that, and then teach myself to separate the conversations and all the craziness that we hear throughout the day. It'd be so much. It'd be so heavy. You know, it can be very toxic to us. Yeah. And we can carry that emotions within our body too. Next thing you know, somebody comes in with a headache. I massage it. Oh, their neck feels great. Oh my gosh, my neck is hurting.
Ain't it crazy how energy transfers?
Whoa. Oh no.
It's crazy.
Oh no, hold on. And in that shift and in that midst of when that's happening, I had to learn not to absorb. I had to learn to say, hold on. You know what? I am not mentally stable and able to take on all this that this person is pouring into me in this time. Yeah. How can I communicate that in a compassionate way? You know? And do it come out all the time? The softness? No. Because it's like, stop!
Well, shut up.
Yeah. But in that moment, it's kind of like, hey, you know, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. Yeah. So sorry this is happening to you, but in this moment, you know what I mean? Yeah. I can't absorb anymore. It's just kind of heavy for me right now. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, oh well, you know. Or some people are like, you know what, Brenda, I did just dump on you. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I appreciate you listening, but you know, I apologize. Yeah. Let me be aware next time. Yeah. And it becomes that healthy communication.
Yeah. It's asking, are you in a space to receive? I probably should do that. But you know, I'm such a I know I'm a healer, you know, and I always love, you know, wanting to help. Yeah. But it's also, I know, I asked my girl, Badisha, she said, do I want to, she said, do you want to be impactful or helpful? Yeah. And now I'm like you said, I used to take, and then like, I have 3 kids. So like, I would be so exhausted to the point where I don't even want to play with y'all. I'm tired, you know? But it's been all the talking and absorbing. I'm telling, you know, as far as like sharing, you know, they're sharing their stories and what happened, and I'm giving them suggestions and advice. That's energy coming out.
That part.
You know, then having to go home. So like, that's something that I'm learning to, like you said, once they're gone, I, you know, send a blessing on their way to Most High protect them, and may they, you know, continue on their journeys, and then let that be that. So it's, again, it's an ongoing learning journey of trying to balance with being an entrepreneur. But I will say this, a lot of entrepreneurs don't embrace the moment. Yeah. Like, sometimes we look so far ahead, we be so caught up in, I want the success part.
True.
You already successful.
That part. Yeah.
You have people that come to you. Yeah. That's success. Yeah. You know, I pray for the right team. That's success. You know, like, let's embrace the very moment, because then that's where the Most High, like, oh, my baby up in here talking about she's successful already. Universe, go ahead and bless her. Yeah. And then it's just more because you already happy with what you have and not looking and fighting to get to the next. So I had to learn that too, because I'm like, I got to get this. I got people to feed. Yeah. I have this and that, but it's like, no, you are all fed. You have each other, and you are very much successful. Yeah. So yeah, Yeah, I know, not to say that we steered off, but I'm like, I know we went to face mapping. Now we talked about the entrepreneurship, but yes, it's a lot. A lot of emotion can show up, on the face, and it's just paying attention.
Yeah, it is, and when you do pay attention, it can be like, I didn't focus on that for a year or two.
Yeah,
I didn't focus on that for that long. Or I didn't focus on my weight, and I realized I'm 30 pounds heavier. And I mean, I even still get people that come in, oh, I've gained this 5 years ago when we were in kind of that lockdown stage.
Oh, well, yeah. They can't shake it.
Yeah, but it's really internally.
Yes.
It's really mentally.
Yes.
That's why they're holding on to it. That's why they're gaining weight.
Yeah.
That's why they still have it.
Yep.
They don't realize that they really need to release whatever emotion or incident or what they experienced either before or during that time.
That's what it is.
To allow them to release it. When clients come in, I feel the energy is just a little disrupted.
Yeah.
It might be nervousness. It might be, gosh, she got all this paperwork to fill out. Like she's intense, like military beside therapist or something. But it's like, hey, let's figure out, let's ask all the questions now.
Yeah.
So when we start to unfold, I can say, hey, how are you feeling about today's session? And it's either nervousness or they don't know what to expect. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Yeah. I'll let you know everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's also hard to even get through that.
Yeah.
Because people are holding on to so much and they're overthinking, right?
Yes.
And when you overthink, people don't realize when you're in a room, a room or say 10 by 10. It might be the biggest room we have, right? When we work it. 10, that energy is filling up the room.
Yes. You can cut it.
And don't let them grab their phone and start texting and calling and talking on the phone while they're trying to receive a session.
Oh, no.
That becomes more intensified.
Oh, yeah.
In a room. And it's kind of like, okay, hold on. I need you to put this arm down so I'm trying
to help you.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me just go to your legs. Okay, let me turn you around. Like, how do we figure out
Wow.
this?
You're supposed to relax.
A lot of people can't.
They don't know how.
They don't know how. I know we're steered off a little bit, but I created a meditation album to assist people with that.
Okay.
And it's filling up your chakras, your intentions, with your words, speaking truth, speaking worth back into yourself, speaking that power back into yourself. And sometimes I play that.
Okay.
And when I noticed that either you can listen and absorb, listen to the person's voice, my verse, whoever playlist I'm playing, and allow yourself to relax, or the person has become a little more agitated.
More tense.
Yeah. More like, did she put this on because this? No, it's helping you and me.
Right.
It's helping that whole session.
Right.
Because if somebody is coming in so combative or so hard or so down, sometimes it's hard to even break that to even help them.
Right. To even get to release the muscle. And to touch on what you said, just for the viewers, the chakras are actual meridian points, electrical points in your body. It's a good thing to know yourself, which in knowing yourself is knowing the inner workings of your body. So I know some people are like, what's chakra? But it's like, no, these are points in your body that are, that store certain, and it relieves certain emotions. So if you're aware and more in tune, you're able to connect with yourself. Like literally, so you have your throat chakra. I used to have issues speaking, or like I will always break down, myself when I'm recording myself. Like, oh, you sound da 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 da. But you can feel the energy. Like when you don't, you're supposed to say something and then you don't say it. It's like you swallowed a knot.
Yeah, the frog is in there.
Yeah.
It's like, what's happening?
Right.
It's energetic.
It is. So that's just to say, like, we're not speaking another language. This is real life. This is what you're walking around with. And it's a great thing to know about and teach yourself about. I feel like there is so much information to learn about you for a lifetime.
Yeah, thank you.
Because it changes up seasonally anyway.
It does.
We've never been this age that we were at now. And that's new for our bodies. So going with the flow of it is the most important. So, okay. I think you, hold on, let me look at the next question because I think you answered it. Yep. So you answered that one about the expressing. Okay. So, yep. Have you ever felt the skin act as a boundary? And see, you just answered that. So, okay. When you, no, I think you answered that too. When you begin,
sorry, my intuitive is disclosed.
It is. Yeah. Let's go. When you begin a session, how do you read the skin? So if we answered that, okay, let's go to the next one. In your work, what's one? Okay, this is a new one. So in your work, what's one of the most surprising things someone's skin has ever revealed? Something they don't even know they were holding.
And oh man. You kind of mentioned earlier, so I'm gonna piggyback off that our body holds on to emotion. So, for example, a client comes in, she's 33, she's had 3 C-sections, all her kids is under 12, and she decided that she wanted to get a tummy tuck, which is basically muscle repair, because the muscles spread when you have children. The muscles are repaired and sewed back together. The tummy tuck is from hip to hip or extended around the hips to the back. And next thing you know, this emotion, she's no longer married, she's divorced, but she's holding on to emotion of that divorce, that breakup, the things that she's experienced. And also, childhood wasn't the greatest part. Yeah. Once you cut yourself, all that memory, all that fascia, it's cut, it's removed. The body doesn't know how to flow emotionally anymore because now it's detached. That skin that was cut is now in the doctor's office on the table, thrown away, disposed somewhere. This much of fat in skin. What happens to that protection that you had? That fight or flight, that emotion that was sitting there, that I've been holding this to survive, my survival mode, my security blanket. Where is that, right? So now they're in front of me and they're on medication. They're emotional. They can't sleep. This is all new to them. And I'm here to assist them in their healing. All that emotion, and when I'm touching it, comes up like a light bulb.
Interesting.
Like I was there. Like I can recall everything that they experienced.
Oh, wow.
It became a revelation for me that I have a little bit more within when I touch people. You know, that epiphany of just like, whoa, this isn't just massage.
No. Yeah.
This is a healing on a different level that people is not discussing, not talking about. And I was afraid to share with the client at first, but when it started to happen so frequently, I had to just figure out a way to just ask. Yeah. And if I didn't ask, it'd be on my mind. Hey, did you have an experience with this, that?
Wow.
Whoa, how did you know that? Next thing you know, it's that big, huge emotional release.
Oh, wow.
That was me.
Wow. By you just asking the question, they like, I didn't even tell you nothing. That wasn't a part of the question. And it just, I bet she like, wow, you were able to touch me, and that revealed it.
Yes, that part. That's probably the biggest thing of like a wow factor for me.
Wow,
like what's happening? Why is this showing up like this? What do I do with it?
Yeah, because like you said, it was cut, but it's still there.
It's still there. So I started. So that's one of the reasons why I even created the album. Okay. To teach them, hey, this is your sacrum. Yes. This is your sexual organs. Yes. This is your creativeness. Where do we lose that power within that? Yeah. And then you start teaching them from root to sacral to solar, up into the crown, the 7 main chakras within the body. What do I do with it? How do I absorb? How do I feed it? Here are some affirmations for you. I'm powerful. I'm worthy. You know what I mean? I am enough. Yes. You know what I mean? I am who I am. You know? We have to remember who we are. Yeah. We have to remember who we are.
You better.
It's important.
You better in this life. You better know. Because if you don't, somebody going to tell you who you are. Yeah. And it may not be very uplifting.
At all.
You know? Yeah. So you really have to know. But wow.
Yeah.
Talk about surprising.
That was the most surprising.
That's divine knowledge that you received.
Yeah.
So, but that's thank you for even being listening to the call.
Yeah.
To be a massage therapist, and then because I know absorbing that, like you said, it comes into you, and you have to then cleanse and do the things.
Yes.
Pray or whatever to relieve yourself from it. So
daily routine.
Have to go. We just all in alignment today with these questions. So, what's one ritual or practice that helps you come back to your body when you've been in service to everyone else? Now, I know you said you lock the door, you say you leave it there, but do you have anything else?
Yeah, honestly, it's multiple things.
Okay.
It's multiple. Obviously I get massages.
Okay, good.
I like to get massages with cupping or do some Thai massaging.
Okay.
Just because I know that my body just needs the stretching and the muscle release.
Yes.
Also meditation.
Yes.
That can be meditation in my car, in my office, in my shower, in my tub.
Yes.
That can be meditation of finding a nice park. In a quiet place for me to journal. But also energetically, we have to get worked on some way.
Yeah.
We have to get touched. We have to talk about what we're experiencing, because the things that we experience, clients are going to be relatable to them. They're coming in for us to hold space for them. Yeah. Not for us to technically dump on them. Yeah. So we have to create that community. What that looks like, the people that can hold space and support us. Yes, that's important. Very. I love to travel. That's another thing of my release. Yes. I'm a Sagittarius. So
that's my rising.
So the adventure, the newness, a learning stuff.
Yes, philosopher.
Yes, I also listen to a lot of audibles.
Okay,
a lot of books.
That's good.
Yes. And when I know that I'm like itching for something, let me go back to this.
Yeah.
And then I might listen to it and be so into it, ask the client, hey, do you listen to this book? And sometimes I don't always do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes
when you feel led.
Yeah. Yeah. And then next thing you know, that person is saying, gosh, I needed that. I need to finish this.
Wow.
That was
great. That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's good. You listen to the creator within you.
Yes.
And I think that's another important thing, is really being able, like, your intuition, once I feel like you are aligned within yourself, you get the work that's needed to alleviate release. Yes. And that's not going to be overnight.
No.
Like, my overall healing took after I got divorced with my children's dad, and it was like 3 years. I had to find myself.
Yes.
And it's like, but then trying to find myself, I had to go back to my smaller self.
Yes, the inner child.
I had to. Yes. And it's like that, facing her was like, oh, wow, I've really held on to a lot. Yeah. But then once you release it, it's like, wow, how much more freer I feel. Like, I was telling her dad, this was great. I was like, thank you so much.
Yes.
For doing everything. Like, it was all in alignment, because yes, I got cut on my way out, breaking through the glass. I bled. But oh my gosh, look how much space this is out here. Girl. I thought the sky was the limit. And it's not.
It's really not.
So I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I am my true love. Yeah. But being your own true love, you then are able to magnetize your reflection. And then he or she will show up. Yeah. So
beautiful.
Grateful for that. Thank you.
The first years of breakups is always a blur, right?
Yeah, it was a blur, but I was outside. But it was a blur, but
you had to let loose.
Yeah.
You had to use the space and opportunity that you didn't, because you were being so loyal in that marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the next thing you know, all right, the kids are good. I have to figure out myself what I like to eat.
Yes.
I don't like to go to, I don't know, Papados and drink Grenadas or something, or eat all this fried food. That's not my thing anymore. Yeah. I like a little bit of this, a little bit of caviar, a little bit of lobster tail, a little bit of red snapper. I don't know.
It's experience, period. It's really experience. And I tell, like I say, my daughter, I tell them, enjoy being 8, 6, and 4. Yeah. You will never be this age again.
I'm glad you let them be.
Because one thing that's why I tell, because I said I was ready to be older.
Yeah.
I was ready to be older because I'm seeing adults do things that I want to do. Yeah. Oh, you're free. Yeah. I'm not free. Yeah. So I know even with my kids, I allow them to have, within boundaries, things, but I want you to live in this age because it's only going to happen once. Yeah. Even for adults, my mama, she's like, she's in her 50s. I'm like, she's like, I'm embracing being it because I've never been this age. And I'm going to embrace this moment. So it's very important to be present. Mm-hmm. It's very vital.
It is. And grounded.
Yes.
Grounded.
It's the most important.
You being grounded, going back to the chakras, root chakra. Safe and secure.
The root, we gotta clean that root up. Yes. Got to. Yes. Can't be walking around with maggots on your roots.
Your energy wheels would not turn if you got maggots out there, okay? Your meridians would not be like that.
A plant won't grow.
No, it won't.
It will not grow. So then to see your head, you blossom. You ain't gonna be able to blossom. So it's important.
I love it.
So to tie it in with the workbook, so there's a page that asks, what are you detoxing from? Not just physically, but emotionally or energetically. What comes up for you when you hear that?
I release all things that do not serve me, that blocks my purpose. I release all things that do not align with me, my life, my family. I release my business. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have to eternally always say that.
Yeah.
Because distractions will come, right? New friend, happy.
Yeah. Somebody cut you off.
Right. What you here for?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I know.
I see where that's at.
Yes.
I see where that's at.
Yes.
I experienced that before.
I know.
And why am I experiencing this in my more healed self, right? Mm-hmm. It's that mirror.
Yeah. That too. Like you said.
The mirror.
Yes, because it probably was a past version of you.
That part of that reminder. Right?
Yes.
I've been getting that a lot lately.
Really?
Especially with Scorpios.
Really?
I have nothing against Scorpios. My first best friend was a Scorpio. My first love was a Scorpio.
Interesting.
No, literally no issues. Yes. But this last probably 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been a reflection of my 20-year-old self going bonkers.
Wow.
Screaming at the top of my lungs.
Really?
Showing off. Doing whatever. I'm angry, so I'm and walk away and start my... That's been happening lately.
Wow.
Or noticing a little jibber jabber or talking. Mm-hmm. Don't realize like you talking about people or you talking behind people's back, and how much of an entity that is.
Yeah.
And how much negative that is.
It's crazy.
You don't realize that at a young age.
Oh no. You just in the moment. Gossiping. It's on what is that? Baddies crap that be having on Zeus? Damn foolishness. It is no uplifting at all. Girl. Y'all literally sit in a circle to fight.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's lethal.
It is so freaking dangerous.
And it doesn't. And my thing is, it's not like mature women are watching it. It's the young people
thinking it's nice, it's cute, and they're supposed to be that way.
To give mean girl energy is never cute.
No,
it's not. It's not even for what. You are beautiful in your own right. Somebody else that you may not think is aesthetically pretty, they are beautiful in their own right. Everybody has a different look, and that's fine. And you are too, again, we all had our ugly seasons now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Buck teeth.
Yeah. We've all had it. So I feel like even with that, it's like being graceful. And then it's really just buffering up the diamond so it can shine a little bit.
That part.
Just a little tweak and a little tweak there. That's all.
Yeah.
She just probably dress up herself a little bit more, and it's really the confidence.
Yeah. And knowing how to dress your body too.
Knowing how to dress your body, literally.
Yeah.
But wow, that's beautiful that you have that in your subconscious, that affirmation about what you are detoxing from.
Mm-hmm.
That's
every day.
You have to.
You're not welcome here.
Period. So, if you could write a letter to your skin, what would it say?
Oh gosh, dear beautiful, radiant skin.
Yes.
it is important for you to, first of all, drink your water.
Yes.
Gosh, drinking water is just so filling for me.
Yes.
Every time I drink water, I take a moment and say, "Thank you, water, for healing."
People don't know that water is sentient.
It is. Thank you.
It's water. Living, because you can talk to water.
Mm-hmm.
And give it to. It was a study that was done.
Yeah,
go research it. Yeah, it was a study that was done.
Japan,
Yes, he did it with a plant. Even talking to the plant negatively, beautifully.
Yes,
and he gave it the same amount of water.
Yep.
Same amount of sunlight. The one that he was talking negatively to, it died.
Yeah, instantly.
Even he did it with the water. Talking to the water bag
and put it in the freezer.
And it's still. I'm like, so. First of all, most I already said, it is, you speak life and death in the power of the tongue.
Yes.
Our words cast spells and they speak life. Yeah. And they uplift. So be mindful.
Yeah.
But in that being the sentient, it's powerful.
It is.
It is very powerful. Like with water, I like to put herbs, because herbs is integrated with nature. And it's like, it also helps other, organs in the body. So, it can be spring water, adding a little sea salt for minerals, but definitely drink your water.
What's the last herb you put into your water?
The last herb, I put damiana leaf.
Did you?
I sure did.
Did you feel the effects of being relaxed with it?
I did damiana leaf and hibiscus.
I love hibiscus.
And oh my gosh, very soothing. Yeah. It was I'm getting back, because I've been doing more of a, it's really like a liquid cleanser. I do like daily. It helps to cleanse my blood.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which I feel like
purifier.
Yes, a purifier. But I've been getting back into them, my teas, to at least do no more than 2, minimum 1. If I can get 1, I've done good. Yeah. But it's, again, working. We're not mindful enough. I'm like, dang, I ain't drink water all day.
Yeah, that does happen. Bitters is really good too for the blood.
Yes.
Did you realize that?
Yes. I've had my burdock, but that wormwood, ain't nothing to play with.
It's not the greatest taste. I usually put a little bit of water in my mouth, and then I take the bitter, and then I could just swallow it without it taking my taste buds by force.
Really?
Because it stays forever.
I tried to throw it in the back of my throat.
Try water. Yeah. Try water first, and then throw it in the back of your. It's just something with the smoothness of just having that in there.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Because I tried to just drop a little tincture and drink, but I'm gonna do the water first, and then see. Because wormwood ain't for the weak.
No, it's not.
It is the worm. I mean, it's good, and that's another thing. I'm probably trying. We're going off, but we're in alignment at the same time. It's important to parasite cleanse.
Yes.
It's important to, parasites grow with you.
Eggs lay there.
Yes. And they're going to stay in the host body.
Yes.
They ain't trying to go nowhere. So wormwood helps with that substantially, even though it is nasty as all get out.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so moving on.
Okay.
Why do you think so many women treat their skin and their body as an afterthought?
I think that some women just think if they do have a nice hygiene routine, is only to just wash the parts that they feel gets a little funky. But actually washing, exfoliating, scrubbing, people will call, the type of shower heads we use, even, you know what I mean? Are they filtered or not?
Yeah, water.
The type of shampoo we use that goes into our skin, and conditioner. Actually washing the bottom of your feet, not just washing, up the body.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Putting your leg on the side of that tub and lifting, things up and spreading open and making sure you get around and about. I got off topic real quick and I totally forgot what the topic was.
No, you didn't. We were talking about why do you think so many women treat their skin and their body as an afterthought?
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's just being vain or just trying to get in and out, not being intentional. And I would say in this past 2 years, I've been more intentional when I wash, like with my feet. I say thank you for keeping me up throughout the day and that we're functioning, because without you, I wouldn't be walking. True. I recently had to get the hand gripper because my thumb, I use my hands a lot, and it's been kind of messing with me. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I ain't felt this before. Hands, I love you. Like that. Like it's just, but and even slowing down when I moisturize. But I think being intentional is important. Yeah. But systematically, as we said before, I personally think that's why women think of it, their skin and their body as an afterthought, because it's been presented like that.
Yeah. A lot of people don't use a loofah or a scrubber or a wash. Yeah. A dry brush. Yeah. They don't use anything or know that they need to. And I take a lot of baths, and a lot of people don't think that that's necessary because they think like, oh, why would I sit in the debris
dirt
of my body, right? Skin is an organ. It's all about the intention of how you create your bath. So, for example, I use pink Himalayan salt, Epsom salt, Dead Sea salt. I use all three of those because I feel like if I'm sitting in a nice temperature of water, obviously I don't know what the heat is.
Right. But it's a little warm to hot. Okay.
It's not lukewarm, and then I start to sweat a little bit. That's what I like. Next thing you know, I can feel the next 2 to 3 days my skin detoxing, how soft it is, how lighter I feel in that flow of me just using the tub, the salts. And the reason why I started to do Dead Sea salt is because I actually went to Petra, to Jordan, to Egypt, and actually swam in there.
Oh, wow. You felt the difference.
That was, my body detoxed for 3 days on that trip. I could not stop going, number one.
Wow.
And that's when I realized, like, gosh, no matter how many massages, how many lymphatic things, how much I do for myself, gasha, anything like that, dry brushing, it's still not enough because things are still being stored in the body that maybe it's just surface level.
Yeah.
It needs to go a little bit deeper.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like me taking a bath, it goes a little bit deeper. Now, I love baths, and the water might look a little cold. I might add a little more. I might end up being from a 45-minute to a 90-minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can sleep up in there on accident.
Yeah. Now, let me get my pillow and lay it back. Talk about, I fell asleep. Shoot, for real. Be so freaking relaxed.
No, but that helps.
Yeah, it does.
I've literally just felt how tense I was just sitting in the tub for maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because we sit like this all day, right?
Yeah.
And don't have the phone in the tub because this thing, you're sitting all day.
Yes.
Like, relax and lean back.
Get all that stuff out the way, get you a candle or incense and lay back.
Yes.
That's it.
The candles, and now it's in body work.
Okay. There you go. So, yes, we got to get in tune.
Yeah.
Women, we have to be intentional.
Yeah, the intention.
I was like, it's so crazy though. With the skin being the largest organ, it's the most ignored.
It is.
And we see it.
Every day.
But with strip the skin off, it's going to be a whole bunch of crazy looking people out here. Be looking crazy.
I don't think I want to be around for that one.
Okay. Wait a minute. So, we're getting close to the end. So, for someone listening who no longer recognizes the person in their reflection, what's one small but powerful way they can begin to rebuild that connection with themselves?
Gosh, the first thing that kind of came to mind was when women start to shave off their head. I don't know why that came to me, but they're in the mirror. They're going through usually an experience that they're not happy with. Next thing you know, they're shaving, right? Because obviously hair does store energy. It's our antennas. It's closest to the sun. You know, that's why people lock their hair as well. You know what I mean? Becomes our antennas. It's like, when we do look in the mirror, do we really see ourselves? Do we really see ourselves through our eyes?
Right.
Because look at this. I have a mirror in front of me. I see myself this way. But now I'm in front of you. And you see me this way. I would never be able to see myself in the eyes that you have through me just looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's going to be opposite.
Yes.
It's never going to be the same. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like filling your face up, filling your body up, moisturizing, like you said. You know, I use a lot of natural different oils and butters and stuff like that.
Yes.
Those feel the greatest on my skin.
Yes.
And it absorbs real well, and it doesn't always have that after effect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
It's kind of like once you find something that works for you, once you find something that fills you up, that can be anything.
Yes.
You know? You have to stick with it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, things do change, ingredients do change. A lot of our, Black-owned businesses, we have noticed that in their products.
Yeah.
I just can't use it anymore. I can tell exactly when it changes.
Yeah.
From head to toe.
Yeah.
You know, the intention that you have in your bathroom is kind of like how it's set up, what it smells like, what you use, has to be intentional for you to be able to want to spend time
with yourself.
Okay.
So the one small thing that you would say but powerful is really setting the area around the mirror.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Around you, because that's whatever we buy, there's always mirrors in the bathroom.
Right.
Whatever, with my apartment, townhome, house, there's always a mirror in the bathroom. Set that up, because once you look into yourself, you don't want to look in the mirror and say, I'm not pretty, I'm ugly, I'm too fat.
Yeah.
You want to set yourself in a space where you are beautiful, loving on yourself, caring on yourself. So the products that you have in there will surround you with how you feel and look in the mirror.
Yes. And then that's in any season.
Yeah, for sure.
It can be a rough and tough, and a season where you probably don't necessarily like the weight. But it's like, you know what, Queen? We gonna get through it. Yeah. It's just a little bit of challenge.
That part.
And we gonna and I'm still beautiful.
Yes.
It's like you said, it's really just fighting through the negative thoughts of what society has programmed us with.
That part. Society programmed us.
That's all it is.
To say we are not enough. When really, at the end of the day, we are so much more than enough.
People have no idea that you are everything that you've ever needed and looked for. You have it all.
Yep. As long as you wake up, you'll be able to see that.
Just open them pretty eyes. That's it. Yeah. Now, finally, what is your glow made of now? Not the products.
Okay.
But the energy behind the woman you've become.
Gosh, I walk my authentic self each and every day.
Yeah. I love that fragrance. Yeah. The fragrance of authenticity is so beautiful. When I see it on somebody, I'm like, you go. Because I know it took a fight to get there.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just being you.
Just being my authentic self in every situation.
Yeah.
And intentionally following that light that guides me.
Yes. That's the most important.
Yeah.
You have to, because the journey continues.
Yeah. What about you?
I think I will say the same thing. The woman, it's really standing in my truth.
Yeah.
And owning it. And it's okay if others feel certain ways. But I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I know I know the mission.
Yeah.
That I'm supposed to come here and execute, because we all have not only spiritual gifts, but we have missions. Unfortunately, sometimes the system makes us forget it.
Yeah.
And we get caught up in the mundane day-to-day work, raising kids for them to go off, and then you dwindled away.
Yeah.
But no, the fact that I'm awake, I know what I'm to do in this life, and just being who I am, it may just encourage you to go and be who you need to be for you. Yeah. So I think that's the woman, and I love it. I look at my younger self, I get cringe based on, on Facebook, baby. Facebook gonna show you who you was.
Memory 10 years ago. Like, whoa, what was that person? Why do I have all that makeup on?
And it's crazy how it's like an instant memory pops up, like on your mind frame. It's like, dang, you was thinking like that, and look how much you've grown.
That
now.
part,
I'm amazed by it, but. Yeah, I think the fragrance of authenticity should be here to stay, and I think everybody should embrace it.
Yes, ma'am.
So where can the people find you?
Yeah, so I'm located in Addison, Texas. Now one's in Body Works.
Okay.
I'm in a medical building on the second floor.
Okay.
16300 Addison Road.
Okay.
The website is nowonesinbodyworks.com. You can see most of the services. I do use a booking service called Vagaro, so you can see all the services there.
Okay.
And obviously I'm on Google too.
Okay.
Like it's there for the people. TikTok, all the things.
TikTok, and it's the same handle. Now and Zen. and Body Works. And we'll have it at the bottom so y'all can go and check her out. Yeah. So, but it's been great.
Yeah, likewise. I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you that you decided to show up for yourself in every form and allows yourself to just walk the path that you need to, not only for yourself, but for your children. And to be that, superwoman, for them, and allows yourself to just be guided.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's love. This has been a beautiful, again, some of the questions I had, baby, was already answering them. So I thank you. And I know this will not, be the first encounter with you and I. Thank you.
No, thank you.
And thank you, YouTube family, for tuning in and listening in on the wonderful Brenda. I hope you too go and do the work for yourself. Just look in the mirror and just say 3 beautiful things. If you could just start there and be gentle with yourself on this journey. Love yourself. Remember what I say all the time. We got to be grateful and thankful. And you go and be amazing. Stay prolific.
Yes.
And that was so good.
And it taught me that anger is dangerous.
Yeah.
Not only outward, but inward.
Yeah.
And it'll cause a lot of health challenges, mental challenges, emotional challenges. You don't even understand it.
Yeah.
And outward, it will push people away from you. It'll make people see you in a different light. And that's not how you want. It's not how you are. But it's like you're angry at the world because things are not the way you thought